Welcome, Visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. What do you want to talk about today? I didn't have anything pressing on me like the last time, but what occurred to me was the idea of success. I would be curious to know how some of you define success, whether you think you've experienced it or not. That's a relative thing, isn't it? Like, one of the absolute foundational keys to happiness would be to uh, be fairly happy with limited amounts of success. Let's say you were a brilliant artist or a musician or a writer, actor. These are all like activities that the public is going to need to engage with at some point. And I have no doubt that we have lots of examples of successful INFJs, but really, how many? And are they as successful as they'd like to be? And that leads to the other thing I was thinking about that I really don't. I, I, I have it, and I don't really like having it, and that is this desire for some acknowledgement. Not just no, not for these talks here. Although, gosh, I certainly appreciate when I get comments and feedback and positive viewpoints about the channel. But no, for my craft, the thing that I'm working on mastering, and actually in my case, it's two different things. It's my art, and then I also do music, and I've been doing music for over 20 years. And I'll be honest with you, depending on what your tastes are, my music is world class. It's amazing, if I don't say so myself. But and I have had some limited acknowledgement of that, but I really didn't get involved with other musicians when I was young. I there was one time I was invited to sing in a band, and this was the hardest song to ever sing ever, and that was Frame by Frame by King Crimson. And that is, for King Crimson, quite a normal sort of song, but yeah, that didn't go well, and it wasn't in any kind of key that I could sing in. Not that I really know what those keys are. Usually, I just find a way to write a melody that'll work in any key that I happen to be playing in, which you can do pretty easily when you write songs, of which I've written, I don't know, a lot, quite a lot, and hundreds, and of those, a good amount are very, very good. Yeah. But I find that when it comes to trying to, so the real issue that I run into there is that the only places that you can share your music is like where other people are that are making their thing, and everybody's really just there to get the accolades, and certainly not dissing anyone for that, because that's the only reason that I'm there. Getting back to the INFJ take on this, it's like, I think for us, because of the, well, who knows why, but I think it's because of the NI and its ability to be objective, its ability to perceive any situation multidimensionally, that we're not going to just be content with, pat answers to problems that confront us in our lives. And this is a problem potentially, although I will get to what I think the solution is. But let's just for now define it as a problem. You're doing stuff. It doesn't. I just use the example of music, but it could be art, or you're writing, or you're acting, or you're sewing. It could be anything, and maybe just a very few people know about it. Maybe enough that you got a few accolades, and that's been my good fortune. And my music and my art's a whole other thing. I sell my art, and even though it's not to everyone's taste, I know that it's not the same thing. And one of the main differences is that in the case of the art, there's a physical product, and we all know what's happened with music. It used to be something that was hard to find. Good music was hard to find. We also all were on the same page, listening to the same songs on the radio, and things diverged. You liked disco, or you hated it, or you liked rock, or you liked new wave, or any of these things. But all that's pretty much gone. Everyone's kind of in their own place now, and everybody is actually able to make their own music, but most people won't. Okay, most people are just going to take what comes, and they will like it when they know it, or know it when they like it, and that's all fine. And increasingly, you'll find that the AI is going to be able to serve people pretty well there. That's already, if you go to the grocery store and listen to someone like, and not dissing her, but someone like Katy Perry, that stuff is so synthetic and over processed and over. Obviously there's got to be some creativity at some part of the process, but the AI can do that stuff now. You know. Anyway, what do you do? You're making things, and yeah, you have the ability to get on with people. You have the ability to connect, if at least on a limited basis, with people. People think you're a nice person, but if you're me, when it comes to spending a lot of time and energy strictly focused on just getting attention, getting acknowledgement, mm, I'd rather just create some more and wish that it would happen. Now this was a problem back in the day, but these days it's like almost insurmountable. I think I did try to engage the AI with some solutions on this, and telling it how much I hated social media, and how much I thought it cheapened human experience. And yeah, you can go out and basically pay for ads and get people to voluntarily support you. That's one of the few strategies that's out there. But in the case of music, you have something that used to be worth something that's now not. So what's worth something now is, well, I was just going to say attention. We've all heard about the attention economy for quite a while. And I think that's still true, but in the age of the AI, there's a lot of other things going on as well. It's not just raw attention. But if you do think about it, human attention is a limited resource. Um, AI intelligence and creativity is an unlimited resource. So there's only so many people that are going to be able to tune in or pay attention to just about anything going on as we move forward. And this is probably not going to be that challenging for younger, very, very much younger people. But for older people like myself that used to pay money to go to a theater to see a movie, um, it's or save up their money to buy a record from an artist that they really liked. It's very, very different. It's not better. Okay, I have to say that scarcity component really brought a lot more value to the proceedings. But whatever, you can't put old wine into new bottles. I think I read that somewhere. Anyway, just some thoughts I had about that. I don't know if it's reconcilable, and I think I do know. Just here at the end, I think a lot of it's the extroverted feeling component that's actively like this little niggling trigger that needs some sort of attention and fulfillment from others. I see a lot less of that in my INTP friends, my INFP partner. So what are you going to do? All you can do, basically, here's your solution. Just make your work. Try and be your own biggest fan, and keep on keeping on, INFJ.